everybody, welcome back to Movieverse. This will be our review for Jurassic World starring Chris Pratt. Anyway, so the first part of this review will be non-spoilers, and then when we let you guys know, then we will go into spoilers. So if for some reason you haven't seen this movie, which you probably have, considering how much it's made at the box office, you can leave. But if you have seen this movie, like everybody else, then you can stick around where we discuss some specific things that happen in the movie, whether we have a problem with it, or whether we like it, or whether it doesn't matter at all. So let's go ahead and get into the non-spoilers review. I'll start off and just say, people actually, I feel like people give this movie more crap than it needs. Like, people say, like, oh, there wasn't any character development or anything like that. There's actually a little bit of character development, I feel like, in that, there's the two boys in the movie. Yeah. I felt like the teenage boy had some character development, even though it was kind of lame. It was still character development. Chris Pratt's character pretty much stayed the same, which I didn't have a problem with. Bryce Dallas Howard's character had a little bit of development, but other than that, there wasn't. They're right. There wasn't much character development, but there was character development in this movie. So I don't have a problem with it. Yes, there were some silly parts in this movie. There was some come on really parts in this movie, but overall, it was a very fun movie. I thoroughly enjoyed it.
Also a very beautiful movie as well.
Yeah, I mean, the visual effects were great. They still had that classic Jurassic Park theme music with it. And actually, a fun fact, I just saw an article today saying that the Jurassic Park theme, after 20-something years, is finally #1 on the charts.
Yeah.
Like, it took 20-something years. Even for the first movie, didn't get that much. Well, actually, I guess when the first movie came out, we didn't have iTunes and all that. But anyways, now the song is on the top of the charts because this movie's come out and everybody's seen it. But yeah, overall, I thought this was a great movie. Well, not great movie, but it was a very entertaining, fun movie. Greg?
Yeah, I really enjoyed it.
Yeah,
like it was like you said, it was a fun movie.
Yeah,
great looking movie. The character development thing doesn't really. I don't necessarily need that much development. Like,
yeah, I don't go into this. I don't go into this movie expecting a bunch of character development.
Yeah, I mean, also, like, you got a sense that Chris Pratt's character, for what he was pretty developed. Bryce Dallas Howard's character was pretty developed. Like, so like I don't know really what you really are expecting.
Yeah, I agree.
Like, so, and I want to say I really did enjoy it, because I know when we get into like the spoiler discussion, I'm probably going to be a little more critical.
Yeah.
It's not going to sound like I enjoyed it.
We're just going to like pick at pieces that were just kind of like, yeah.
There were some flaws in there that, there were some logic holes that really bothered me. But
we can be honest, there was a lot of flaws in it, but at the same time,
I could still sit there.
The charm of the movie and the charm of Chris Pratt, to get a little bit more serious about the charm of the movie and the charm of Chris Pratt's character in this movie really did I went to this movie honestly to see Chris Pratt. I'm pretty sure, like, in previous like trailer reactions that we've done, I'm just like, I'm not really too excited about this. But I was like, you know what, I'm going to see it. I want to see it. So I went and saw it, and I came out happy from the movie. So, and
also it felt like it was something we haven't seen in a while as well.
Yeah,
like,
of course. Yeah,
it was like 13 years since the last Jurassic Park movie. Like, we haven't really had dinosaur movies since then.
Dinos.
Like, so,
yeah.
Or at least not very many that reached critical appeal. Like,
yeah.
So it's there was kind of a newness to it, even though it was a sequel.
Yeah, well, I mean, this really isn't spoilers, so I guess I can go ahead and say is the fact that they completely ignored Jurassic Park 2: The Lost World and Jurassic Park 3, which I'm completely fine with. They had some, tidbits in there.
There's some nice Easter eggs in there
for the original movie,
which they felt like they were in the right place. Like, they weren't just there just to be like, oh, hey, remember this movie?
Yeah, and there's a pretty big one that we'll talk about because it has a pretty big part in the movie as well. But yeah, let's go ahead and give our score for this movie out of 10, so we can get into spoilers. So, what's your score out of 10 for this movie?
I'm gonna go. It's gonna be a little low.
Yeah,
but I feel like it kind of needs to be, in a sense. Like, I'm gonna go with a 7.9.
Okay,
because I put it on the same level as like Mad Max, but I enjoyed Mad Max a little bit more.
Yeah,
I gave Mad Max an 8.
I feel like Mad Max was a better movie, so yeah, I mean, it kind of makes sense. For me, out of 10, I'm actually going to go lower than you, but I want to make sure people understand that this doesn't mean that it was a bad movie or that I didn't like it. I want to give it a 7.5, and here's why I give it a 7.5. I liked the movie. I thoroughly enjoyed the movie, but it's not one of those movies. It's not a great movie. It's not like we mentioned before. There are a lot of flaws with this movie.
Yeah, I don't think I cannot sit down and watch it over and over again.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I have to agree with that. But so, yeah, there's a lot of flaws. But like I said, the charm of the movie, the charm of Chris Pratt and him as the leading character really makes up for the movie.
Yeah.
And for that, I give it a 7.5. If it was a better movie, it would go into the 8s, possibly closer to the 9s for me. But as it stands, 7.5 for me, 7.9 out of 10 for Greg. And now we're going to go into the spoiler discussion for this movie. So if for some reason you haven't seen it yet, then go ahead and exit out of this video.
We would not
Actually,
be offended.
go add it to your watch laters. Go watch the movie, and then come back for our spoiler section. So, I'm guessing if you're here now, you've already seen the movie, like everybody else, all the cool kids. So now we're going to go ahead and talk about what happened in the movie. So, let's go ahead and start off. We'll start off low. What was your biggest disappointment for the movie?
The biggest disappointment, I feel like, kind of as beautiful as the movie was, the one part where the visual effects kind of fell apart to me was that final battle with the Indominus Rex and the T-Rex.
Okay.
That felt completely CGI'd, it didn't have the same kind of polish in it.
This is where I disagree with you. That was the highlight of the movie for me. And the reason why...
I mean, I agree, the combat, the way it was animated, but just the way it looked.
Okay. Yeah, I mean... It was dark. They had the scene was dark, so I guess they could get away with a little bit more of lesser CGI or whatever, lesser resolution for it. But what I will say, my biggest disappointment for this movie was some of the themes. Like, you had Vincent D'Onofrio, who did an amazing job as Kingpin, was like, oh, let's just use these raptors for military applications, type of thing. He was just like, ooh, I felt like he was like a mustache twirling villain, basically. And so that was kind of a disappointment to me. And then also you have the owner of the park who's like, oh, I'm the only pilot on this island here, so I'm the only one that can fly this helicopter. And things like that were just like, okay.
As also to take it back, there's two other big problems I had was, one, well, it's actually kind of three. There's three other ones. That one is Bryce Dallas Howard's character supposed to be the damsel in distress or a kick-ass, female counterpart?
That's what I'm talking about. That is character development, right? But she went from the damsel in distress, only caring about numbers, not being.
But at the same time, it seemed like at one moment she was damsel in distress. Next moment she was kicking butt. The next moment she was a damsel in distress again. She kept going back and forth.
I didn't really notice that. I felt like at the beginning she was more and plus, oh, I'm just a numbers person. I don't really care about the living world. And then she comes and she's like, oh, these are animals, and they need to be cared for. And then it gets to the point where it's at the end, and she's trying to save her nephews. Because at the beginning she was too busy with her job for her nephews.
Well, and then also
she's like, oh my god, my nephews, I need to help them, that kind of thing. So I didn't mind that.
She spends the whole movie running around in a business skirt and high heels in a tropical jungle.
Hey, that props, man. Yeah, props. That's what I gotta say.
And then number two, when Indominus Rex does break free, they say that he's 5 miles from the next attraction. That cage she was in, the cage she was in was what his exhibit attraction was gonna be. So you mean to tell me they're just gonna ferry these patrons 5 miles to go see this thing?
Maybe.
And then
that was my biggest problem, was the fact of how they handled the fact that you got out, and they're just like, oh no, we'll just keep everybody on the island. It's fine.
And then the third one was when they do finally realize kind of shit's hit the fan.
Yeah.
And the two boys are in that little bubble car.
Yeah.
Why was there not a computer override that forced them back to
didn't you see that it was a teenager who was running the ride, and he's just like, I don't know, guys, I just work here.
But I'm saying that should be a computer.
I just smoke weed on my pastimes,
But it should be a safety feature where there's a computer override, you just hit a button, all the bubbles come back. Like,
yeah, no. Instead of like letting them like control their own bubble and like going, like,
especially when an evacuation order is given. Like,
off-roading, sure, let's do it. Like, that's what we were saying in our non-spoilers review. There was a lot of flaws with this movie that keep it from getting a high rating from us, but it was still overly enjoyable. Yeah. What did you enjoy from the movie? Quickly, because the battery's about to die.
Big Joe was when they come across like the long necks that the Indominus Rex killed, and you see like the compassion that Chris Pratt's character has for him, like,
and that was Bryce Dallas Howard's character has.
And, like, that was a like legitimate feels moment.
Yeah, it was a nice moment. My favorite moment. Let me get. Okay, actually, you know what? What I really did like, and something that was a twist in the movie, is they find out that Indominus Rex, which is the bad dinosaur, is part raptor, and Chris Pratt is a raptor trainer, and so he has 4 raptors that Vincent D'Onofrio's character, like, oh, let's use them for military applications. He's like, oh, let's use them to go track down this Indominus Rex character. So they go and they track it down or whatever, and it's like the 4 raptors and then like 20 like military dudes, and then the raptors start basically communicating with Indominus Rex, and they're like, oh shit, it's part raptor. So then like Chris Pratt goes from being the alpha to Indominus Rex being the alpha, and then the raptors start attacking everybody. So that was a cool twist in the movie that I enjoyed. But then Chris Pratt gains control, or not control, but gets the raptors
himself.
Yeah, reasserts himself as the alpha, and the raptors start to fight Indominus Rex, and all the raptors are kind of like just shoot away basically, except for Blue. And I was like, okay, so basically they're making this Blue character as like
was the beta,
like the man's best friend type character for the movie.
And I knew it wouldn't happen, but I wanted him to say, "You're my boy, Blue."
You're my boy, Blue. No, but so then Bryce Dallas Howard's character has some more character development, and the killer's just like, oh, they need more teeth, like, to beat the Indominus Rex, which doesn't make any sense to me. Yeah. But so then Bryce Dallas Howard starts like running, and as soon as the kid said it, and as soon as she started running, I'm like, they're bringing out the OG. Yeah. And they did. They brought out the T-Rex, and so the T-Rex and the Indominus Rex start battling each other, like, for dominance, because the Indominus Rex is trying to figure out like where it falls on the food chain, and the T-Rex is just like, this is my island. Yeah. So they start fighting, and then like the T-Rex starts getting his ass kicked a little bit. So then Blue starts teaming up with the T-Rex. And they T-Rex and Blue start teaming up, and then they get they beat the Indominus Rex. And so I thoroughly enjoyed that bit of the movie. Like, I thought it was, like, obviously I was like, okay, this isn't realistic at all, because I don't think the T-Rex and the Raptor would be working together, but it was enjoyable. I was like, okay, I can enjoy this. It was fun, So overall, the movie was fun for me, and as we said before, I gave it a 7.5. He gave it a 7.9, which is that's a C. That's a passing grade. I mean,
it's a movie worth watching.
Yeah, for sure. It's worth, like, that fight between the T-Rex and Indominus Rex and the Raptors. That is worth the ticket price right there. Now, if you're expecting to go see an Oscar movie, no.
Well, it is an Oscar. He's probably going to win Best Visual Effects.
I don't know about all that. Well, I mean, that'd be like saying that you expect Harry Potter to win Best Makeup and Costume, but that didn't happen. It didn't happen, though. That's what I'm saying. So, yes. So, overall, the movie was enjoyable. It was worth going and seeing in the theater. 7.5 out of 10 for me. 7.9 out of 10 for Greg. Any closing statements you want to make about this movie?
Again, also...
No,
not really. I thought I did, but I was like, nah. Not.
All right. So, anyway, just to close this video out, if you're Chris Pratt, speaking of Chris Pratt, like, the fact that, like, Guardians of the Galaxy, Jurassic World, and possibly, I mean, after this, like, he might get the Indiana Jones role.
Well, he'll at least be offered it.
I would rather see him as Indiana Jones than Bradley Cooper, if I'm being honest.
Mm-hmm.
But, yeah, so, Chris Pratt is doing what Chris Pratt does best in this movie. If you're looking for a fun movie that you can take your kids, they can still have some nightmares, but they'll still like it. They are gearing this towards kids. They have kids'
and I know
toys.
I know it's a PG-13 movie, but I would feel really squeamish about taking my, like, under 10-year-old. I mean, my screening, I sat next to an 8-year-old.
And he was probably just like this the whole time?
No, like,
No.
he was excited.
Yeah.
Like, and I get it.
No,
but
seriously.
so, like,
Take your kids. You heard it here. Do
but
it.
I would be squeamish taking my own kid.
Well, I would take it. I would take my kid because it is the fact that it is dinosaurs. You like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? So it's like we saw Jurassic Park, and there was still like blood and raptors
Not to
attacking.
the extent that...
Yeah, whatever.
Because, yes, I know a PG-13 movie now is different than what PG-13 movie in 1993.
Yeah. Whatever. All right. So this will do it for our review of Jurassic World, starring Chris Pratt and Bryce Dallas Howard. If you guys like this video, go ahead and click the thumbs up button. Comment down below what you would score this movie out of 10. And as always, if you like what you see here on Movieverse, subscribe to Movieverse. Make sure that you guys are subscribing to our iTunes account and our Stitcher account to get our audio-only version of our movie news show that we upload every Sunday. And that will do it for us here at Movieverse. We'll catch you guys on the next video.